Hello, folks. The next section in this unit is taxonomy, or the naming and organizing of organisms. It's what brings order to life's diversity, and life is extremely diverse. Current estimate is that about 8.7 million unique species, give or take a million or so, live on Earth right now. How do we find order in this? How can we learn about 8.7 million different things? It's just too much. But if we organize it right and find similarities, which the human mind is amazing at, by the way, we can do that. And the science of doing that is called taxonomy. The science of naming things is called taxonomy. And it makes the attempt to find order in all this diversity. And what we do is we place organisms in groups that have significance or meaning. We don't just say cute animals, we say animals that have fur and provide milk to the young. Those would be mammals. Those are significant. So we can take a look at teachers. We can label people. We can label some of those people in a smaller group called teachers. Within that smaller group of teachers, we can have an even smaller group of biology teachers. And within that group, we could have the best biology teacher. I'll let you decide who that is. But you don't have a lot of experience. So the best one you've had so far, maybe it's me. Why do we classify an organism? It allows us to see similarities between species, like mammals, right? We know a lot about, if we know that something's a mammal, we know that it's going to have some fur, it's going to give live birth, it's going to feed the young milk, it's going to raise the young for a while. There's a lot of commonalities if we know that. It allows us to see which species are related. And it allows you to know a great deal about a specific organism, even if it is new, because it's similar to its relatives. So if we find some new creature in the woods that has fur and provides milk to its young, gives live birth, and so on, we know it's a mammal. If we know it's a mammal, we already know quite a lot about it. We don't have to study it from the ground up as an alien creature. We can start with some background already in place. The naming part of it provides a way for us to communicate without confusion. We use scientific naming with Latin and Greek terminology because if we use like everyday language, a black bear in America is different than a black bear in Mexico, than in South America, than in Europe, than in Asia. They all have black bears. They're all different species. They're not the same animal. They do happen to be related in this case, but they're not the same animal. Like a red panda and a giant panda bear, not related really. They're quite different organisms. So common names don't really work well, but scientific names tell us a lot of stuff. And the biggest thing in the end is it allows us to see patterns in life and in organisms. And the human brain works with patterns. That's what it's good at. That's how we make sense of the world. We don't look at every single pixel of information coming into our eyes. We look at the pixels of information, our brain just forms it into a pattern and say, oh, that's a tree, or that's grass, or that's a teacher. What is it that we see? So how do we classify things? Well, organize them into groups based on common characteristics. So if you just close your eyes right now, and I say bird, you kind of come up with a mental image of a bird. And what are some of the things you're thinking of right now? Say them out loud. Feathers, yep, birds have feathers. Uh, Claws, feet, yeah. Wings, that's a good one. Any others? Beaks and hollow bones, yeah, all those things are things that birds have in common. And you just get a generic picture of a bird. Or if I just said grass, I don't tell you what type of grass, Bermuda, Kentucky bluegrass, ryegrass, whatever, just say grass, you get an image of what grass is. But then, what kind of a bird? We got this feathered, hollow bone, beaked, winged thing, but we can break that into smaller groups, right? We could break it into waterfowl, and then we take those waterfowl and waterfowl in one group, and we could do songbirds in another group. So to completely classify an organism, it's a matter of coming up with different groupings. We got birds, waterfowl, and other smaller groups underneath that. So give me an example here. So all these up here are birds. All right, all birds. We got a couple of ducks, a goose, and a robin. Now we can separate these out. Here's a songbird, and these are waterfowl. So now we just take out the smaller subgroup of birds known as waterfowl. We can break those out into an even smaller subgroup of just ducks. And within the ducks, we can break it down to even smaller group, down to a specific species, the mallard duck. Okay, so that's, I mean, we do this all the time in our everyday language when we're talking about things and looking around the world, right? It's nothing new. It's nothing fancy. It's what you guys do all the time. Just in taxonomy, we make sure it's a little bit organized. We all agree on some common things, on what the most important things are and what the languages that we're going to use. And this is where we're going to end the notes for this section. You can do whatever your teacher asks you to do next. And then I will be starting in a minute the notes for the section on the different taxons. Thank you. Have a good day.